From the PEP Radio Newsroom, this is the hourly news blast. LGBTQ Nation is reporting. Ohio state Republicans have introduced numerous anti-LGBTQ plus bills during this legislative session, including one that would out LGBTQ plus students to their parents if they receive any related counseling, a bill requiring transgender politicians to list their dead names on public records, a law restricting trans students' ability to use preferred names and pronouns in schools, and a ban on drag, even though federal courts have blocked similar laws for violating free speech rights. State Democrats have also introduced legislation to enshrine LGBTQ plus non-discrimination protections, as well as a ban on so-called conversion therapy into law. None of the bills have received a hearing so far. The Ohio Legislature is currently on summer break and will reconvene in the fall. Truthfully, these bills are never going to see the light of day. Just face it, they are not. This is Ohio we're talking about. Because among the bills introduced by state GOP legislators are Ohio House Bill 190, which would require parents to submit school permission slips for educators to address students by different names or pronouns that differ from the names and gender listed on their birth certificates. Republicans nationwide have tried to claim that affirming students' trans and non-binary identities without parental disclosure is a form of, quote, indoctrination and transing kids. With that in mind, state Republicans have also introduced Ohio House Bill 172, which would ban kids 14 years and older from receiving mental health services without parental consent. This would include any child who receives school counseling, services, or monitoring related to the student's mental, emotional, or physical health or well-being, or the school's ability to provide a safe and supportive learning environment for the student, the bill states. The bill would force educators to forcibly out queer students who seek counseling for LGBTQ plus issues, including students who are bothered by psychological distress, anti-LGBTQ plus bullying, or are experiencing problems with academic performance. It doesn't get any better, folks. It gets worse. Another bill, Ohio House Bill 196, would require trans and non-binary political candidates to list their dead names on candidacy petitions. The bill comes after a 2024 incident in which several trans candidates for elected office in Ohio were disqualified because they didn't disclose their dead names when filing campaign paperwork. One candidate said she didn't even know about this requirement. The following year, Ohio Secretary of State Frank LaRose, a Republican, changed the candidate forms to require candidates to include all prior names used in the past 5 years, outside of those that resulted from marriage. Seems like a pretty narrow-minded bill from a narrow-minded idiot. This bill would essentially enshrine the form change into law. Currently, people in Ohio can change the gender marker on their state birth certificate, but it requires a court order. Lastly, Ohio Bill 249 would ban drag performers from performing in any place not designated as an adult entertainment facility. The bill would designate as an adult cabaret performance any act that involves performers or entertainers who exhibit a gender identity that is different from the performers or entertainers' biological sex using clothing, makeup, prosthetic, or imitation genitals or breasts or other physical markers. Did these people ever watch the goddamn Birdcage? The law ostensibly restricts any displays that are obscene or harmful to juveniles and wouldn't prohibit or restrict a bona fide film, theatrical, or other artistic endeavor or performance that is not obscene or harmful to juveniles. Oh, thank God we can all watch Mrs. Doubtfire. Way to go, Ohio, you goddamn morons. But the state's definition of obscenity, as vague as it is, refers to any content designed to appeal to the prurient interest, depict sexual conduct in a patently offensive way and lack serious artistic, literary, or scientific value when taken as a whole. Trust me, these are Ohioans we're talking about. They have no clue what art is. As such, the law would forbid any non-adult cabaret venue, such as a library, movie theater, playhouse, or bar, from showing any media or performance that depicts cross-dressing or transgender individuals if anyone considered them even remotely obscene. Courts have blocked similar drag bans from going into effect in Florida, Tennessee, and Texas, calling the laws vague, overbroad, and burdensome for businesses to follow without fear of persecution. So if you go down to, let's say, I don't know, TGI Fridays, and they happen to have television up at the bar, and Delaware Representative Sarah McBride is giving some sort of House floor speech, maybe it's in the middle of the day, could they call that obscene because a trans woman happens to be speaking on the House floor? Well, this is again Ohio that we're talking about. So the idiot and moron crowd in the Ohio legislature will come up with all sorts of vague and phony ways to attack the trans community. State Democrats, meanwhile, have introduced Ohio Senate Bill 70, aka the Ohio Fairness Act. It's going to get as far as Pennsylvania's has. Okay, just saying. Which would include sexual orientation and gender identity into pre-existing anti-discrimination laws. The bill has been introduced in every goddamn legislative session since 2011. Okay, I escaped Ohio in 1997, and I am so glad I did. And this is the first time since 2018 that it has received no Republican support, the Ohio Capitol Journal reported. Additionally, Ohio Senate Bill 71 would ban any licensed health professionals from providing conversion therapy as a mental health treatment to minors. Numerous studies and all major American medical and psychological associations, including the National Association of Social Workers and the National Education Association and the American Federation of Teachers, well, you see where this is going, disavow conversion therapy as an ineffective, needless, pseudoscientific form of psychological torture. But you know what? The Nazis loved it during Nazi Germany and the Holocaust. Frickin' morons in Ohio. Nevertheless, over 1,320 conversion therapists remain active across the U.S., many of them here in Pennsylvania, including in states with bans in place, according to a report from the LGBTQ plus youth suicide prevention organization, the Trevor Project. The report found that licensed therapists, counselors, social workers, and unlicensed idiots, practitioners, advocate for and or directly engage in conversion therapy. Many discreetly advertise their services using terms like sexual attraction, fluidity, exploration. Wow, that's a mouthful. Rapid onset gender dysphoria, sexual addiction, sexual wholeness, sexual integrity, and claims to help clients align their related behaviors with their faith. Really? Tell that to the pastors out in Ohio that keep doodling little kids, okay? Just ask them how that's working out. You know what? To our listeners in Ohio, your neighbors in Pennsylvania welcome you. Perhaps it's time you pack up, leave the Buckeye State, and head east. You won't regret it. As someone who grew up in Toledo and attended college in Dayton, Ohio, I can attest that getting out while you can, if you can, is the best bet you have. You know what? That's the News Blast this hour. If you are watching our videos on YouTube, be sure to subscribe to our channel. Coming up next, we have the Meadville area weather forecast right here on PEP Radio.